In the previous tutorial I showed you how to do a rock and roll rhythm in the three simple chords of C, F and G. We can also do the rock and roll rhythm in the three simple chords of G, C and D. It just gets a little bit more complicated. So if you haven't seen the other tutorial first, I suggest you look at that one and make sure you're conversant with that, and then have a look at this. So if we're going to do rock and roll rhythm in the three chords of G, C and D, we do it in the same way by adding an additional finger to the chords. So starting off with the G, we play the G chord. To turn it into a rock and roll rhythm, you have to make that G chord into an F minor chord. Now, this is something that causes beginners a little bit of problems because it's quite difficult to change quickly to play an E minor, which is a finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, 4th fret, 3rd string. That's quite difficult to change too quickly when you're a beginner. But the good news is you don't have to. If you play a G and you add the extra finger, and of course you'll have realised by now that you're using 3 fingers already to play the G, so the only extra finger you've got is your little finger. With your little finger, if you put it on the 4th fret, 3rd string, it becomes an E minor. So just by putting that finger on the 4th fret, 3rd string, you turn a G into an E minor. So for a rock and roll rhythm, as we did last time, 1 downstroke, 1 upstroke on the G, 1 downstroke, 1 upstroke on the E minor, you do this. So just practice using your little finger just to get it on the right string, and then it becomes. So that's a third of the way there. The next part is the C. Now we've already done the C. To play the C in rock and roll rhythm, you play the C and then you play an A minor. So you play the C first, add to the A minor as well. 1 stroke down, 1 stroke up. So we do it again slowly. So a little bit faster we can play it. So now starting from the beginning again, we start with the G and the E minor. And move on to the C and the A minor. The third part of this is the D. Now how you play the extra finger depends on how you play the D. Depends on the size of your hands and the size of your fingers, how you play a D. Some people play the D, which is that string and that string all on the 2nd fret, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th strings all on the 2nd fret. Some people play it by using 3 fingers. If you play by using 3 fingers, then in order to play the rock and roll rhythm, you need to play the bottom string as well. So you're actually in effect barring on the 2nd fret. But if you're playing with 3 fingers to play the D, just rock down the bottom finger and cover the bottom string with it. So you'd be playing. So you could do it a bit faster then. Alternatively, if you're playing it with 2 fingers, you can make it a bit easier for yourself. If you're playing the 3 strings but covering them with 2 fingers, you've got your ring finger free. And if you put your ring finger on the top string, on the 4th string, on the 4th fret, you're in effect playing the same note there on the top string as you are there, whoops, there on the bottom string. So putting it all together, you play your G and your E minor, your C and your A minor, your D, and then you can put it all together and put it into rock and roll rhythm. I'll do it fairly slowly to start with. You can play it a bit faster. And there you have your rock and roll rhythm in the key of G.